I think for me personally, fly fishing has given me a space to reflect and to connect with myself and to remember my why and what's important in a day and age where social media and our cell phones and our jobs and everything else can be so consuming. Being near the water is just this place where we get to take a break from all of that. I'm Shyanne Orvis, and I'm a fly fishing guide in the Roaring Fork Valley, a travel host, and a mother. The majority of my family are conventional fishermen, so at a really early age, we spent most of our time fishing for bass up in northern Michigan. My exposure to fly fishing was through my grandfather. He introduced the sport when I was about 12 years old, and we'd fly fish on the creeks. I'd wake up as a little girl and we'd beat all the boys to the end of the dock, and we'd probably outfish them too, and I would always find myself outside in the woods and in near water. That's where I felt the most alive, was being on the river, this calming place that I could go and just be me. Nature is kind of what kept me grounded amidst a challenging childhood and kind of these chaotic situations. At 12, CPS came to my elementary school and asked me questions about my home life and determined that it wasn't a safe space to be in. So I was in foster care at 12 and moved around to different family members or kind of anyone who would take me in. And from 12 to 17, I think a lot of that space was just so much movement and feeling like I was a burden on anyone that I lived in because I'm not their kid, and they're just allowing me to live in their home. When you go through something like that at a really young age, it teaches you strength and determination and this desire to build a better life for yourself than what you've experienced. Fishing can teach you patience, and it can teach you perseverance, because it's not easy when you see fish rising all around you and you can't get one to come up and you have to dig through your fly box and look at the bugs around you and try to determine what they're eating. And I think all of the skills that you can learn through being present on the river, you can implement that into your life. There's so many different elements to fly fishing. It consumes every part of your being. And it becomes this sort of place of meditation and this super grounding place. And it gave me this outlet, especially at a time when I was 17, 18, and navigating a lot of my childhood trauma. It gave me a space to reflect on that. My why for what I do now is to create a safe and welcoming space for other people. And when I'm on the river and I get to share all of that with someone else, disconnecting and bringing them to a place that feels like home and getting to see their excitement when they catch their first trout or they catch a big trout, it's everything. It fuels me. It definitely is my reason why I keep pushing forward and I keep fishing.
My name is LeAndra, and I've been a fly fishing guide for about 10, 11 years. Meeting Shy was, she's great. She's just the nicest person, very knowledgeable, and she's very encouraging.
My name is Laura. I'm a project manager at Backcountry.com and an avid angler. I was really fired up and super hyped to just hear about Shy and learn a little bit more about her goals as her own personal angler, but also what she wants to do and share with the community.
As a career, I get to share what I love with people who are just getting into the space. And then as an angler, I get to connect with like-minded people who are just as passionate as I am. And then we get to continue to grow and evolve together.
Is this too shallow up in here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yes! Do you think this is too shallow?
Do you think this is too shallow?
It is, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, not too shallow.
Oh yeah.
That was beautiful. Sometimes being an only female, it can feel competitive, whereas she doesn't make it feel competitive. She makes you join in with her. And that's super special, and that's really important, especially because we want more females in the industry. We want more females out there just even trying to pick up a fly rod and casting and going for it. And so Shy's that special person that makes you feel welcome, like you've known her for years.
Intimidation stops a lot of women. And I think when you walk into a space that isn't welcoming or conducive for women to learn, it's really important for women to come together and to support and encourage each other.
Are these both of our rods here?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna row first.
Okay.
And you can start off fishing. What do you think you're gonna throw? Oh yeah, your streamer.
Well, definitely streamer in the
Definitely streamer.
evening. You cannot not do that. I'm addicted. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's do this, ladies.
It's gonna be a good day.
Yes, it is. I checked the forecast. It said 100% chance of fish, so.
I like that.
I wanna wander out of the valley where the river takes us far away from home. Time to ponder in the fields around me where there's nothing but the breeze and the great unknown. Leave your worries and your suitcase. All you don't need, nothing but you. So don't throw your hopes down on wishing well. It's your heart's desire carry you.
I think the beauty of fly fishing is that every angler has specific things that they excel in.
Being with Shyanne and Laura, like we all have our different personalities that we learned over the years. And it's just been really fun, almost like we get a little chaotic. The boat, we're a little much maybe, but it's pretty fun.
And I just learned so much from both of them, and you know, I just think it was super cool to be able to share that experience with one another and to just feel like that women empowerment, like we can get this done. Like we know what we're doing, we can rig up, like we can balance being on the oars and netting a fish through like a wacky rapid.
Covered in wonder, sweet in the silence. Oh, we'll keep running, we'll keep running. Leave your worries and your suitcase. All you don't need, nothing but you.
When a fish comes up and makes a decision to say, out of all the things in the river, I'm gonna choose this, it's just amazing.
That excitement of like you knew where to put your flies and you knew how deep and you put on the right fly and they ate it. All of that comes together and that feeling is just so surreal.
Fly fishing, it is an adrenaline rush and it becomes addicting. I do get so zoned in, and I do have to remind myself, trout really live in beautiful places that you need to like look up once in a while.
Leave your worries and your suitcase. All you don't need, nothing but you.
I think my exposure to the outdoors, I feel super grateful for as a little girl because it instilled this passion for being in nature and exploring and fishing as a whole. And it wasn't until I was a little bit older and I was able to have this appreciation for fly fishing and what it really taught you. I'm super grateful for everything that I had to endure at 12 because it's allowed me to continue to persevere in a career that isn't really easy for women to succeed in. It was challenging walking into a fly shop, of course, right? Because they doubt your abilities, they doubt whether or not you're passionate about the sport, they doubt your intention, why you're there. And I think for me at that time, it was almost like a prove them wrong.
I've also experienced a lot of barriers to entry just being a female. It's a really close-knit community. It's not always open. People aren't always really stoked to share information, but by finding other women who are just super fired up, they are eager to say, hey, I've got an extra pair of waders, or I've got an old rod and reel that we can just rig up for you. And that's really helped me to kind of overcome those barriers to entry.
I'm seeing a lot more women for sure, but there can always be more. Always, always, always. So I just want to keep seeing that happening.
Here on this trip, being able to fish with these other two girls and see how stoked they are and how knowledgeable they are. If anything, I just feel more passionate to like keep upping my trout game and like to connect with them and to go fish different places. To have the opportunity to go and fish with these girls has just been such a dream. When I used to tell my story, I was 22 and just getting out of foster care, and I was just understanding my trauma, and now I'm in a place where I've done a lot of that work. Parts of my story still hurts, it'll always hurt, but I understand now that it's shaped a lot of who I've become, and it's allowed me to build the life around what I love. It's had just such a profound impact on this life and understanding me and understanding my why and my purpose and how I'm supposed to show up for other people and how I'm supposed to play a part in their lives as well. And I think all of that's through fly fishing. It's been a catalyst for me to create friendships and connection and community, and it's just been such a blessing. I would tell 12-year-old little Shyanne that she is loved and say the life that you're going to create for yourself is more than enough, and I'm proud of you.